The sounds of spring are upon us. Beautiful little cottage garden here. The Chuz way. I can definitely hear lambs. There was a chicken. That is a beast. We must never forget. Genuinely, never forget. I think we may well have found it, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. Hello and welcome to this next adventure, or next episode of Adventures of the Corbs. So we are in a place called Mickleton today, and we are going to be walking up to a place that we've actually walked to on a previous video, but a different route completely. So this is to Hidcote Gardens, and we pass Cliffscape Gardens as well. I'll put up a little bit of a map now for you. We start off our walk today at the High Street in Mickleton. We then take a short walk just to the local church and have a look around. We then hook onto the Heart of England Way, go up through Bakers Hill and Bakers Hill Wood. We then take a little U-turn and start heading back towards the Hidcote Gardens, then Cliffscape Gardens, and then we head back down the hill, back towards Mickleton and back to the van. It's a very nice little welcome, wasn't it? Mickleton is often called the gateway to the Cotswolds, and it carries that title with a certain quiet dignity. At the heart of this history sits St Lawrence's Church, a building that has seen the village evolve from a medieval farming community into the picturesque spot it is today. While much of what you see here is from the 14th century, the foundations are far older. If you look at the lower parts of the tower and the interior arcades, you'll find heavy, rounded arches dating back to the 12th century. The soaring spire was added later, in the 14th century. In the days before GPS, this spire served as a critical landmark for travellers navigating this area of the Cotswold escarpment. The graveyard at St Lawrence is a bit of a lesson in social history. As we wander through, notice the shift in the stones. Many of the grander, older chest tombs, which look like stone boxes, belong to the wealthy sheep farmers and wool merchants of the 17th and 18th centuries. In many Old English graveyards, the north side was traditionally reserved for the unconsecrated because it was believed that the north was where the devil resided. While that superstition faded, you can still see how the southern and eastern plots were historically favoured by the village elite. Mickleton and its church also did its service during the so-called Great War. The presence of Belgian soldiers in Mickleton is one of the most poignant chapters in the village's 20th century history. Whilst the Cotswolds felt a world away from the front lines of the conflict, it did its bit in the form of wounded men seeking sanctuary and healing. The focal point of this story is Norton Hall, a grand country house just outside the village. Early in World War I, it was converted into an auxiliary hospital to treat wounded soldiers, ran by the British Red Cross. Following the Battle of Yser in October 1914, a brutal engagement where the Belgian army struggled to hold the last corner of their country from German occupation, thousands of Belgian soldiers were evacuated by sea to Britain. Many of these men were sent to rural hospitals like the one at Norton Hall to recover from their wounds and the trauma of the race to the sea. While many soldiers eventually recovered and returned to the continent, one Belgian soldier remained in Mickleton forever. In the graveyard of St Lawrence's Church you will find a headstone that stands out from the traditional Cotswold markers. It belongs to Victor Joseph de Martillea, a private in the Belgian army. Victor was among those brought to Norton Hall for treatment. Sadly, he succumbed to his wounds on December 4th, 1914, just as the first winter of the war was settling in. Unlike many war graves that were repatriated or moved to larger military cemeteries, Victor was laid to rest in the village, a reminder of a time when this quiet corner of Gloucestershire became a crucial link in a global humanitarian effort. So we are now just walking, going to join up with the Heart of England Way and make our way up over the hills towards the hills we can see behind us, over towards Hidcote. The sounds of spring are upon us. If this is your first time to the channel, then we do a walk like this every single week, usually a point of interest. I talk a little bit about the history of the place and just show you a lovely walk at the end of the day. If that's the sort of thing that you're interested in, then please do give us a subscribe. It's absolutely free, and pop a little thumbs up if you do like any part of this video. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel immensely. So just heading down into this small little pocket of woodland, and what we're looking for eventually, we should cross a road at some point, which is called Baker's Hill, and then funnily enough there is a place called Baker's Hill Woods, which is where our point of interest lies today. As you can see, we are still thoroughly planted in the season of mud over here in the UK. It is getting into sort of mid-March now. I'm hoping it starts to dry up soon though. Right, and here we are again. Right, I think I'm better off getting through onto this less obvious path here, which has obviously been, I would imagine this is the one the locals use. Doesn't look half as muddy as the other. Okay, right, I've turned around. It's a great start to the video, isn't it? We will find our way. Right, I want to be back on that main path. It's not looking too bad, he says. Okay, I think we should be back out of this little wood and back into the field shortly. Out onto the open lands. So we follow this uphill here, and that you can see in front of you is Baker's Hill. And it's at Baker's Hill Wood that I want to share something with you guys. So still on the Heart of England way, and we're following it up onto Baker's Hill. So we are climbing still, just I think the majority of the steepness is at the start. Oh, we are nearly at the top now. Not too far, nice views. It's a shame it's not a bit of a sunnier day, but birds are still loving it. So yeah, still on the Heart of England way, and this is Baker's Hill Road. And we're about to cross over into Baker's Hill Wood. That's amazing. In memory of Joe Barry. 2 bears holding a bench up, amazing. Oh. Not sure who Joe Barry is, but obviously very well loved. So this here, by the side of this field, gorgeous field, just come through the gate. So this is Baker's Hill Woods. And it's in these woods here, just found a little opening, so we're gonna go in and see, just so we don't miss it. So you can imagine, just come back from being in the trenches over in World War I, bombs going off all over the place, men screaming in pain. You've been hit yourself and wounded, been lucky enough to have made it off the battlefield into the beautiful Cotswold countryside that is this. I can imagine this is a beautiful little escape for that person. Absolute monstrous trees, aren't they, in here? I think it's a little bit further along. Got all these bluebells as well that are waiting to come out. I would have imagined that many of the soldiers taking respite would have probably had a wander up here, a little bit of an explore into nature, just trying to forget what they'd seen. Gorgeous view there off this escarpment with the surrounding countryside, looking down towards Western Subbage. I mean, this is pretty much the top of the Cotswold escarpment. So if you've seen any of my other videos, like the Dumbleton Hill video and my very first video actually, my newbie video, was done last September when I first started these walks. I walked along the edge of the escarpment, but this is pretty much officially the start of the Cotswold escarpment, really. And it just carries on and on and on, all the way to Chipping Campden Broadway. Some more carvings and things here. I love these twisted old trees. I bet you they've got a few stories to tell. Look at the intricate roots and everything, and the branches off, all twisted round. Amazing. What a beautiful piece of woodland. A few more there. I can't really make out anything that's obvious from the World War I era, which is what I'm interested in today. While there are several carvings in these woods, the most famous ones date back to 1917 and are a direct link to the First World War. I think we may well have found it, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. I'll let you read that in your own time. The standout piece is a silhouette of a Belgian soldier carved into the bark of an old beech tree. You can still see the distinct outline of his kepi, the flat-topped military cap worn by Belgian and French troops at the time. It's widely believed to have been the work of a wounded Belgian soldier who was convalescing at Norton Hall nearby. Though the bark has aged and shifted, there are initials and the date 1917 visible. It's a remarkable piece of trench art that moved from the mud of Flanders to the quiet of the Cotswolds. Well, amazing. I think it's just nice to get a bit of an appreciation for what life would have been like for them. And I wonder what that soldier's life was after that. So I read that. War declared 1914, August 1914. And down with the Kaiser. That can't be coincidental, can it? Amazing. You can see there's quite a lot of, whether they're copycats or whether they're, I think some of these are definitely a bit more modern. Yeah. Well, they're 1934 there, Haynes. So something about war there. As I was saying, I think it's nice to have an appreciation of, what our relatives and our ancestors went through to give us the life that we have today. I mean, walking around here now with a GoPro, do you know what I mean? On a nice Saturday afternoon, it's afforded me the pleasure to do that. We must never forget, genuinely never forget. So once we get out of this little pocket of woodland, we should hook up with the Monarch's Way and then make our short little journey up to Hidcote. There you are. Opens up onto the fields. Monarch's Way, here we go. So up in the hills, just in the distance there, is where Hidcote should sit. And I did a lovely walk that literally just walked all the way along the ridge down to somewhere probably around there-ish, and that is where Ebrington, a small village called Ebrington is. Check out the video I did on that. It is very, very early days, that one, because it's the first time I'd ever done one of these videos. So probably very different actually. Maybe I should look back over those one day and see how much it's evolved. But yeah, I think I had 6 subscribers back then. That was back in September, so. I was very much hoping, especially in this neck of the woods, that it is lambing season at the moment. And I was hoping to come across some beautiful little lambs to film. And I'm sure I could just hear some then in the distance. So hopefully we'll come across some in a sec. The Chuz way. We're just popping back onto this proper road. So that is the junction of the top of Baker's Hill, the road that we crossed down earlier after climbing up the original hill. And we are just going to cut in here, this public footpath. You should be able to see some of the gardens of Hidcote from here. We are still on the Monarch's Way. So where the avenue of trees is, that basically is where Hidcote starts. I can definitely hear lambs. I'm sure they're over there somewhere, but they're not really there. I did not even notice that tree. How strange. Somewhere over that direction is some beautiful little lambs, but I'm pretty sure that Hidcote is right next to a farm, and if you look, as if you can just see little white dots up on that field in the far distance, they're definitely sheep. They are not bits of cotton wool or small clouds. Well, they could. Well, no, they're not. They're sheep, let's be honest. And sheep are normally where you find lambs. That's my logic anyway. Just reflecting as we're walking over this field about the the tree in World War One. Because on this channel we usually do a little bit more, medieval history, things like that from centuries ago. Whereas this is a bit more modern history, isn't it? I think it's just really nice that they've done the plaque there and they've left the tree, and it's actually like a protected piece as well, which is lovely. It's like that could easily be lost, in the local history so easily if someone undertook the time just to document it and flag it up to people. So I just think that's lovely. This, look, it's got a warning sign saying lambs in field over that beautiful little bridge, but unfortunately our trip today actually takes us this way. And I don't think the lambs, did you hear that? Just there's another lamb, but he's definitely over that direction. I don't think they've been moved into that field just yet, but I'm sure we'll come across some. It'll be my mission for the video, to find lambs. And this is Hidcote Gardens. Some lovely daffs in there at the moment. It's all just waiting to spring out. If you've got a National Trust membership though and you're watching this, it's a bit of a hidden one really, Hidcote Gardens. It's, like I say, it's near Mickleton where we walk from. It's a lovely walk up here. And yeah, anybody that's watched that video will recognise this little bit of walking down there. And I came along, and I believe over this little stile there was a chicken. And apparently that chicken, since I saw him, is apparently quite famous around here. And he keeps wandering into the Hidcote Gardens grounds and even into the shop, apparently, which is quite interesting. He was just there, literally just by those doors. A big white chicken. So Hidcote was created by a Major Lawrence Johnson. He was an American who became a British war hero. Hidcote's world famous for its revolutionary layout, which Johnson conceived himself, despite creating one of the most influential gardens in England. Johnston was actually intensely private, so he never married and was often seen as a gentleman farmer. His true passion was to hunt for plants in China and South Africa. If you've ever been to a garden centre and seen Hidcote lavender, This is actually where it all started from. Major Lawrence Johnson and his mother, Gertrude Winthrop, are both buried in the churchyard of St Lawrence's Church inside Mickleton, which we're just heading towards now. Oh, somebody's lost their cap. Well, how will they ever see it though when it's camouflaged? Just going to cross over. So that lovely little building there, and a place that I have never actually been to, that is another gardens that you can go to. It's not National Trust owned, that one. That is Kifsgate Court Gardens. I believe it's closed at the moment. I've heard very good things about it, just never been myself. I think it opens for a lot less months of the year than Hidcote, and it's a lot less well advertised. So we are at the top of the hill, and if we ever get any snow, this is the hill that I will be frequenting. I'm just going to show you in a sec once I close this massive gate. There we are. As you can see, that is a beast. It's a lot of grass, so good job really, because if this was mud, I will be slipping my way back down. Be back in Mickleton in seconds. It's a beautiful hill. I'm glad I've just come down it there and don't have to go up it. The hill you can see there, just in the distance, and I know I've pointed this out quite a few times because it's one of the most obvious hills that you can see from quite far away in this part of the world, is Meon Hill. It's just got that flat top to it and that obvious tree right in the middle there. So there's a handy little bridge there going over. That's if we were to go back up the hill, back towards where we seen the carved trees. But we're going to go straight on and head back towards the church, which should come into view as we get around this corner. And there it is. Just see the spire there poking up through the trees. Lots of items of clothing on this walk, so people just throwing away their garments. Beautiful little cottage garden here, ready to spring into life. So here's this that I wanted to show you. So this is a bit of a memorial. It's the old manor gardens over there. I believe used to the old manor. See where the walled section is. Very nice indeed. So I'm going to end the walk there in the beautiful Mickleton. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, then please do think of subscribing. It is completely free. And I am going to go on a mission and try and find some lambs. So if you want to stay tuned for that, then stay tuned for the outro. But if not, I will catch you on the next one. Take care, guys. Gonna find some lambs. We're looking for some lambs. I know I'll see some lambs. Are you a lamb? Oh, the butcher. Oh no, not that kind of lamb. Oh dear. Quick. Go past that. We want live lambs only. I'm a vegetarian, didn't you know? Have you seen any lambs? No? Oh. Excuse me, have you seen any lambs? Oh. Allotments, they don't have lambs. They don't grow lambs at allotments. There are several fields, but no lambs. Where are all the lambs? Oh, there's fields up there. I can see sheep, probably lambs as well, but we need them closer. We need to see them from a good perspective. We want to be able to look them in the eyes and tell them how beautiful they are. Oh, I think they're there. There's lambs, people. Look at the lambs. Oh, the beautiful lambs. Oh, he's running. Look at him run. The lambs are there. Told you I'd get some lambs. See? We have lambs. Oh, I'm well happy. Right, I'm going to put this down before I get arrested.